So you think you know the Helium Network, or you listen to somebody who claims they know the Helium Network, or you think they know the Helium Network, but you've never once seen them do this. This is super simple to do actually, but most people don't take the time to actually explain what's going on under the hood. So today, I want to cover some things that other people aren't willing to tell you, because there is more than meets the eye when it comes to Helium, and some good, some definitely bad. But first and foremost, what's going on, my beautiful people from YouTube? This is Vic with Action Crypto, and I'm so glad to be back with you. In today's video, we're going to cover 3 things. First, what is the problem? Because people are not happy. Secondly, we're going to go over the potential, because if there are issues, there's absolutely potential for things to take off. And third, I want to give you guys solutions. We got to be solution oriented when we're tackling these things, and that's what I want to focus on in this video. Everything I want to talk about will lead all of us, almost over 900,000 hotspots out there, to a solution and what can be done and why I think the potential is immense. But before we do that, if you wouldn't mind just giving this video a like so it gets some more people, maybe share it. And my goal is to earn your subscription to the channel. I haven't been posting a lot lately, so this video here, it's going to be the redemption video, let's say that. So actually lost over 28 days, lost more subscribers than I've gained, but that's okay, because today we're going to do a little giveaway here as well. And all I want to know from you to enter the giveaway is, are you mining HNT? Like, are you planning on keep going, or are you looking for a way out? Where do you stand right now? And I got some goodie bags that I'll share with you guys later. But for you to enter to win that giveaway, just leave that comment down below so I can get a little bit of feedback and understand where you guys stand in this whole thing. So let's get to it. With point number 1, this problem. I mean, what is the problem? Let's first identify that, because there have been some shortcomings to the eyes of these, these miners. Me, I'm included. When I say we, I really do mean we. I have plenty of Helium miners that are not earning like they used to. And the low rewards is going to be the first issue with this problem. But we got to ask the why. Why such low rewards? Well, it turns out that the more people you have, the less rewards you're going to get. Helium was set up as a proof of coverage network. So the more people that are on it, the less rewards each individual will receive. More people, less rewards, greater coverage, right? Let's keep going, because when you talk about coverage, the only people that really provide coverage are the people who are legitimate users, legitimate miners, people that are actually putting their hotspots out there, and not the problem with gaming. That's right. Another issue is gaming. People are taking advantage of the network, and it stinks for all of us. There's no easy way to say this. It's terrible. But I would say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And the same reason people are able to, game the network is the reason why there is solutions to fix this whole thing. And I want to make sure I cover those with all of you. And I would say the third issue here is, and this is the part where you're going to see videos out there that people are just going, nuts. Oh, Helium, it's so great. We got this 5G thing. It's going to earn you $16 a day. It's fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. It does sound great. There's also a problem with Helium deciding that 5G is more important than LoRa. I mean, why, right? We got to ask these questions. Why did they go that route? But wait, they or we? Why did we choose to go this route? Because at the end of the day, Helium provides you the ability to vote on things, and they use HIP protocols to actually do it. It's these proposals, right? So what they're doing with these HIPs are Helium improvement proposals. And with HIP 51, they instituted the DAO. They're looking at actually break things up. And you might say, wait, I thought people were upset. People didn't want this. How in the world would something like this pass, where 5G is going to be now a separate token from the LoRa units? Why would they do that? It is they. And that's the problem with all of this. These DAOs, these decentralized autonomous organizations, are not what they claim to be at the end of the day. Because they are decentralized, they are autonomous, and they are organizations, but they are controlled by specific individuals. And you see people who actually know what they're talking about, bring this to the forefront and be honest about it. And I want to make sure they give people credit when they say those things, because they're not holding back. And I think we need more of that in this space. So Alex, hats off to you to calling it for what it is, because on June 7th, 2022, HIP 51 passed with 97% of the votes going to yay and 3% saying no to this thing that most miners don't want. This is just proof that somebody is controlling the system. You see, with Helium, there is a lot of money involved, a lot of VCs, a lot of people that literally poured a ton of funds into it, which means that they have lots and lots of HNT, Helium's Network's token. And that means they have voting power. The way voting works is that you allocate HNT for your vote. You don't spend it, but you say, I have this much and I want to put this much onto this vote, and yes or no. And those 97%, that was 4 million HNT. At a price of $10.50, you're looking at $43.3 million. While the 3% from you and I guess you can say, that's 130,000. 130,000, that's right, which is just $1.3 million. It's not that much money. Now, why are we in this boat? Well, early tokens, right? Or big sales, VCs. That's what it boils down to. So the real problem here is that this decentralized network isn't so decentralized as they claim. And I guess the best way for me to describe this is that this proof of coverage network is really a proof of stake in the way that it's run. It's how much HNT do you have? The more you have, the more say you have in this, in this game. And it's not always the most democratic way of doing things, because money runs the world. And that is the same thing that is happening here. If you have money, you get to say what happens next. And there's been a lot of that money wanting to go in the 5G route. They see the quick returns, and in my opinion, they're not looking at the longevity of this network and how much it can grow when it comes to LoRa. But like I said, there is a solution, or multiple solutions, I guess you can say. There's more than one thing that you can do. And this is where I kind of want to pause for a second and tell you guys, yes, fantastic, yay, crypto mining, good money, but what's it good for? Because for you to put your money into something, you want to know if you're in this thing for the short term or the long term. And you're for buying miners, well, guess what? You're automatically in the long-term game. And I love giving credit where credit's due. So Crypto Wendy, she is awesome with this thing, as she's always saying to people over and over again. She talks about moonbags. And your moonbag is the tokens that you buy, you mine, whatever it is, however you acquire it. You sit on it and you don't sell it. You hold. So what do you hold and what do you sell? To answer that question, again, never financial advice on this channel. I'm just telling you the stuff that I'm doing with my own money, my own funds. And if you guys follow along and I'm successful, hey, happy day. If I'm not, if I don't make it, well, sad day for me. But you gotta ask the why. That's what it boils down to. What do you hold and what do you sell? Comes down to the why. And it's like, why what? Exactly. Why is this thing here in the first place? Why does it exist? Why do we need it? What does it do? What is it good for? Right? That's the question. So if you think about Helium uses LoRaWAN, which is a protocol to convert RF signals into an IP packet. It allows you to take, radio transmissions and turn it into, an internet protocol packet. So you can send it over the web. That's what LoRaWAN is. But it's not exclusive to Helium. So why does it matter? Well, because of the potential. And I want to just throw a very simple number out there. And in point number 2, this potential is so much greater than I ever imagined. The more I look into it, the more excited I get about this, the more potential I see in this whole thing, because there is a lot of growth coming. And it's not only the growth, it's how that growth is going to take place. So if you take a look at the IoT market and the projections for 2022 all the way until 2029 is that they're going to have a compound annual growth rate of 26.4%. That's a lot. 26.4%. That's pretty good growth for the next 7 years. I mean, you can't beat that. And a big driver of that growth is going to be smart cities, with the highest market share being in North America. The question is, how do we get in this? How do we take advantage of this growing industry and mine, right? I mean, that's what we all love to do, is create ways of generating passive income. I love generating passive income for myself and helping others do the same. I've been in crypto for over a decade, and the goal is to do more of what I love. It's why I have this channel. It's why I'm sharing these, tidbits of information with you. So if I have more passive income, it allows me to stress less, work less, and do more of what I love, which is giving you guys information about what's going on in this space. Now, like I was saying, LoRaWAN is governed by the LoRaWAN Alliance. They're a nonprofit organization, and it's the protocol that Helium uses in their miners. They just had, and I just want to give you a little bit of insight as far as how big this actually is. They just had their World Expo for 2020 last month in June in France, and they had an amazing keynote that went over a lot of the ways that this platform is being utilized. And I'll definitely put a link to it. I'll put a card up there so you guys can learn a little bit more about the LoRaWAN Alliance and this World Expo that took place, because it's actually really good information. And just to highlight some of those things, and it's hard for us to conceptualize, why do we need this? And it's what I always go back to, regardless of what crypto token I'm talking about, what blockchain I'm dealing with, I want to understand the why and how it can be utilized in everyday usage, right? So a company called Tectelic, they do a lot when it comes to the LoRaWAN space. They have a way for you to do remote metering for your water, your gas, your electric. And I just thought of myself, because here in Southern California, there's a guy that drives around, from the water company. He opens your little water meter and reads it himself, writes it down on a piece of paper. What year is this? With the money they pay for his salary, the vehicle, the gas, let's talk about the gas and how expensive that is. They can deploy these water meters all over, and it will pay for itself in less than a year. So there is plenty of ways that LoRaWAN can be used. The same company, they're also into healthcare, and they're creating these incredible monitors that allows you to, monitor patients. Like, you just left the hospital, doctor wants to make sure you're okay. Well, you carry around a little monitor, a little tiny little thing with a coin cell battery, and it can last 3 to 4 months. That's innovation. That's what LoRa, the LoRaWAN Alliance is working on, is making sure that we can get to the next level of technology and next level of connectivity. And there's more companies, and another one that I actually do really like, Thingy. And they are monitoring wildfires, real-time smoke and air quality monitoring, and not some scam that, cashes out every month on crypto. They're a real company. They're doing this, and it's super cool. And I see the application of these things all over. If you look at, Western Europe right now, with the heat, with the fires and things that have been going on, it is wild. We can be in a better world with this technology. Am I digressing? I don't think so, and here's why. There is a restraint. So I'm talking about all the potential, all the things that can happen, that it can do, but there are things that prevent the growth. And the top 3 restraints in this growth is going to be the security, the integrity, and the privacy of that data. But guess what? That's where blockchain technology leads the charge. If you take a look at blockchain technology, it is going to shape the IoT space, because blockchain is all about data management. And IoT devices don't need a lot of data. They're small packets, which is perfect for the blockchain. So blockchain manages data really well, and the things that's preventing the network from growing further are data issues. So how do we tackle each one of these? Let's just talk about security. And this is where I think that blockchain can help tremendously, and where Helium is kind of sucky. It just doesn't do this well. In the security aspect of it, they created their own blockchain instead of going to something more reliable. Again, proof of stake is what this is. The Helium network is a proof of stake network. I don't care what anybody says. They have validators, which require HNT, so it's a proof of stake. A proof of work, blockchain, man, it is the most secure thing out there. If you can integrate a proof of work blockchain with a LoRa network, you are gonna go to the moon. So blockchain technology can solve the data security issue when it comes to data integrity. And this is one that I love giving an example so people can understand what IoT data is like and how blockchain can actually help, because data integrity is important. And there's nothing more irrefutable than a ledger. It's a bunch of people saying, yes, this is true. Yes, this is true. Yes, this is true. It's verified multiple times. And just take this example here. Got a truck driver driving cross country. He's got, let's call it a 53-foot reefer in the back carrying whatever goods. It's got to stay at a certain temperature. And he's supposed to make certain stops at certain times, drive at a certain speed limit. Do you realize how often drivers are just trying to make more money and they're driving faster than they're supposed to so they can get to other places and relax longer and, do things their own way? If it's like a $500 fine depending on the state, but logbooks, a lot of drivers carry 2 logbooks to say when they stopped, when they rested, when they didn't rest, because they want to get to the next destination faster. It's kind of wild the way things kind of run, in the trucking industry. And yeah, they're in a bad place. I get that, but you want to make sure that trailer was on when it was supposed to be on. So if you have a device that can track the temperature of your items throughout the trip with a GPS tracker that can notify the network exactly where it's been, there's no driver in the world that's going to be able to go ahead and write something different. The data is irrefutable. That's why the ledger system of the blockchain is ideal for data integrity. Now, privacy. Data privacy, and this is something that I've gotten questions about from people like, wait, I thought the blockchain is public. It's public, but it's also private. Just because something is on the blockchain doesn't mean that everybody can read and understand what's actually on there. There are ways and systems to do multiple things. You can deploy private blockchains. That's one option. You can also encrypt data, where only the user who has private keys can decipher what that data actually means. So the blockchain meets all of these criteria to solve the problem that the IoT industry is facing right now. So you better believe it that blockchain and infrastructures are going to be built for this purpose. And I know I gave you the number of 26.4% of growth year, and that's every year, every single year. It's a compound annual growth rate. That means that, and I'll give you now get ready, sit back and actually listen to this number, because it blew my mind when I first came across it. Right now, the IoT industry is looking at a $478.36 billion as far as the industry, the whole market as a whole. That means that by 2029, we're looking at $2,465 billion. That's a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money. And if you think about it, we're talking about Helium. Helium has a market cap as of today of 1.2 billion. That's 1/4% of the IoT industry. And if I had to write it out, it would be 0.0025%. It is nothing. It is minuscule. So if you think that, oh man, it's hard, it's, there's just not a lot of opportunity, they're not getting the rewards that I need. Of course you're not getting the rewards you need. There needs to be more use. The focus has not been on, hey, let me contact, a group of farmers and say, hey, we want to help you guys monitor your crops. Hey, we want to partner with the city and help you have a smarter city layout where now data packets are being sent and the network is being rewarded for that. That's what's missing. But I don't blame them, because if you ask, is it secure? Is the network uptime good? Not really. How many times has your miner been down and it's like, oh yeah, the network's down. can't onboard miners because the network's down. So it's scary to me to think that we are now looking at this 5G scenario where we're supposed to have this really good internet coverage, 5G coverage. Those 5G units are connecting to people's internets. Here in Southern California, at least where I live, I don't have that great a connection. I'm bound by copper. So I can put up a 5G tower, but those download and upload speeds are not going to be anything incredible, to brag about. So that 5G connectivity, sure, you're going to connect to that 5G tower, but it ain't going to be that fast. And if the blockchain is down, what's going to happen? Will my tower go down? Too many questions, too many ifs, too many possibilities that I don't want to get involved in. So we come to the fun part, which is solutions, right? We got to be solution oriented. The potential is there, guys. There's a ton of money in this space. And the goal is to make sure that you and I can take advantage of some of it. And when I say take advantage, I'm not talking about gaming the system. I'm talking about being useful, doing something to help the space. Because that's what Web3 is all about. It's about taking the power away from larger corporations and providing you and I with those benefits. So I'll give you two solutions. And I'll give you option A, which is, the less desirable one, because it's easy, but it's also costly. You can just scrap everything you've been doing and go to a network that is more secure because it's more closed off, where they're not using a LoRaWAN, but they're using, just a LoRa signal. And that would be this guy right here. So the M2 Pro miner, it's a good miner. I have it. And I chose to go with it because I love to diversify. I can't have all my eggs in one basket. So, MatchX, it's a higher entry point. Absolutely. It's more expensive than a Helium miner. But it's a great miner for a bear market. And I'll put links to some of these things below as well, so that if you want to get one, I'll have a link. Probably is going to be an affiliate link if I can find one. So I would benefit monetarily from it. But I'm telling you guys things that I do. I'm not sitting here trying to sell you or pitch you things. I actually want you all to be successful. I want the network to grow. All networks in general, as far as LoRa goes, because if you got the blockchain involved, it's a happy day for me as well. Now, the M2 Pro miner is 2,500 euros. Which means a good time for US customers to buy it because the dollar is actually strong. It's like 101 right now. So it's like getting a discount, which is a win. And the reason I say it's good for a bear market is because you get $10 to $12 a day. So as the market comes back up, the token price comes back up, well, your profits also go up. So it's a win-win. But I think that, MXC and Helium, those two companies, they deserve a comparison video. I've seen some of those out there, and I don't know if they've done it justice on both sides because they're, I don't want to call them fanboys for one company or the other, but I'm in the middle. So I figured I'd probably give you guys some good insight if I created one just because I'm in both. Now, option B. And if you're hoping for like a good comeback story, like, I don't know, from getting canceled on YouTube 3 times in a row and having to get my channel back, being off for, months, or, me getting sick and not being able to post videos for a little while, or
Seabiscuit, the Mighty Ducks, Robert Downey Jr., who Rocky, else? Yes,
Kim Kardashian.
Well,
this is like my favorite Chris Pratt improv moment. I got to recover. There's a serious video, serious face on. But yeah, you're not going to get a comeback story with Helium, in my opinion. I don't think that is where it's going. What I'm talking about is the fact that there are other opportunities with these miners. And, I know I showed you the SenseCap right at the beginning. I got to give credit where credit's due. SenseCap is manufacturing some really cool stuff, not only miners, but also things like this field tester, which I actually wanted to give away. I never enter giveaways. I usually just give stuff out, but I did one on Twitter and I actually got picked. And it was like somebody that didn't even know me from Seed. So like they're legit. So if you see Seed giveaways, you can enter those. They're actually real. This is a field. I'll put the links to the field tester and this unit down below as well. But these are open source units. That's right. Open source. Remember how I talked about gaming, and the reason gaming was taking place in the Helium network is because of the open source aspect of it? there are pros and cons to the open source aspect of things. And the good thing is actually the ability of doing more with your units. And gaming stinks, but open source means that you do what you want.
Oh, he's such a cutie.
Meaning you can take your device and take it anywhere you want, to any blockchain or platform that you want. And if you look behind me, I actually piled these up. I have 8 of them. These are the Doosan miners, and I would say that they are better than the seed devices, only for the fact that they're cheaper, right? Like if you use the coupon code ACTION when you pick one of these up, you get it for $169. That's pretty darn cheap. And the way they're able to do that is that they have their own stuff. They're actually, they're manufacturing the device, but the internal components are theirs. That's how they keep the price low. If you look at seed, they're stuck with using a Raspberry Pi, which are hard to come by these days, especially with all the shutdowns. So they've been able to drop the price tremendously to $169. So yeah, I picked up a bunch. And it's not because my earnings are incredible. Can I get my money back? What's the ROI on it? Not great. Depends on location, depends on your antenna, depends on a lot of things. But I actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not a train this time. A lot of people have already started dual mining with their hotspots. And that's something great that you can do. I got to do a disclosure on this one because I've gotten multiple offers from different companies saying, hey, get if you can bring customers over from Helium to dual mine with us or switch things over to us, we'll give you a commission. And they're like, this stuff is not cheap. They're saying they're trying to charge people between $100 and $150 to port your unit to their platform, and they're willing to give me half of it. Right? Sounds so appealing. I should do it because it's a ton of money that I could generate, but I can't do that. And the reason I can't do that is because I asked the why. And there's no good case scenario for why they're doing this. There is no purpose. And if there's no purpose, I don't feel comfortable going into it myself. And I would never, ever share with you guys. Plain and simple. I don't want to not only even put my name, I don't want to lead anybody astray. That's the way I look at it. But funny enough, if you consider this, HNT's value has, kept up because of the manufacturers. Hear me out. Manufacturers have to burn $50 worth of HNT to onboard miners. That's right. So every miner, they are actually burning $50 worth of HNT. So if you think, let's say, the SenseCap, M1 is expensive, okay, whatever price you're getting, minus $50 because Seed has to pay that to Helium. They have to burn those tokens. And when tokens are burned, it increases the token price. Same thing goes for these guys. They're actually burning $50 worth of HNT to onboard these miners. Right now, there's over 900,000 Helium miners onboarded. And all of those miners required $50 worth of HNT to be burned. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, guys. And not only that, the manufacturers actually have to burn more than the numbers that have been deployed. Because if you, let's say you just got a new miner and you want to onboard it, they already paid for it, when they decided to manufacture it. So it's something that has kept the price of Helium up because I actually did the math and there have been over 3 million HNT tokens burned just to onboard miners. It's a lot of tokens, guys. Now, I say that you got to ask the why. And with all of these companies, the dual mining, the switching of networks, there has been some companies that piqued my interest. And I gave them the time of day because it made sense. Because they can create a platform that is more reliable, more secure, more robust, and provide the coverage and have some good deals long term and actually do something good for the space. Not only the blockchain space, but also the IoT space. Remember all those billions of dollars? That's what we want to tap into. And I'm not quite ready to say what my top one is because, again, I want to do my due diligence. And I'm only going to tell you guys about something that I am willing to go in myself. hopefully this week I can get some miners onboarded and test things out, test the waters, and let you guys know what's going on, what's happening. Because yeah, I want to make sure things work. So hopefully I can, earn that subscription from you guys so you can see the next video when I talk about Helium and LoRa and give you my insights as to where I'm going and what I'm doing. So 2 videos on the docket. We got the Matchex versus Helium. So you guys know the difference between the two and where I'm going, what I'm doing with my Helium miners and where I'm going to take my business. Because again, that's how we tell them who's boss. The only way to do it is with your money. Oh wait, they have a lot of money. So instead, the way to do it is to do it with your devices. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you all on the next video. Take care. Well, that was a much longer video than I expected, but I'm glad I got all that info out and I'm filling you guys in as far as what's going on in the space because I think it's important. So for the ones of you that reached out and said, you missed me, thank you. Things haven't been ideal, but it's given me time. Like I just had to not do thinking, right? That's why I got the wall painted in the background. Some people were asking, I had some Zoom meetings and stuff and they were asking like, what's going on? Like it looks really nice back there. Some of the lights in the back. So I'm actually going to link the stuff that I have that I'm using in the description probably. Maybe I'll do like Amazon links for the stuff that I'm doing because I tested a lot of different stuff. Like I would buy 10 lights and then return 9. To figure out which one was the cheapest versus worthwhile using that would actually look decent on video, on Zoom calls and whatnot. So I'll definitely link that stuff down below for you. I'll probably do a website and have a link of like, hey, this is like stuff in my studio. So I will definitely do that. But we got to do a giveaway. And yes, I'll probably do more than just one for this video. So make sure you leave that comment below, letting me know where you stand with the Helium Network. But we got to give a wallet away from the last video. So I want to make sure I can do that right now. So let me get to my video screen. All right, here we go. What do we got going on here? This is it. This is the video for the giveaway. So actually I already copied this link and the link is right there. We're going to filter duplicate users and 6, 7, and let's get YouTube comments. And this giveaway is for a hardware crypto wallet. Start. Brave videos, but to be honest, I believe how the market conditions look right now, people are sending towards markets. Wow, bear market until the end of 2022. And Bitcoin just started to pump a little bit, which is a good sign, but I don't think we're out of the woods just yet. But as far as a recession, yeah, I mean, Zassy G. Coming over to the Discord and open a ticket. I'll make sure that you get sent your wallet. But yeah, I agree. Things are not looking good for the space right now. A little bit better than they were yesterday, right? It's all we can ask for. I'm hoping that things get better by November. Like that's my date of like when things get back to normalcy, I guess you can say. Because I don't know. I really like making passive income and not having to stress. Stress is not good for you. I don't recommend it. I really don't recommend it. So try to avoid that. In the meanwhile, you guys are phenomenal. I will make sure to, go through all of those tickets. And by the time this video goes out, you're probably going to see those tickets taken care of and replies being sent. But don't reply to anybody telling you to go on WhatsApp. Like I can't stress this enough. Like I am not telling you to message me on WhatsApp. Never. Discord, that's the way. That's the only place. I'm thinking I need to set up a website to make sure that people stop trying to get scams. They're just bad. Any @gmail.com, all scams, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. So please be cognizant of that. If somebody replies to you on the comments and say, hey, reach out to me here, don't do it. It's not worth it. They're just trying to take your money. And I feel terrible for the crypto space. I wish there was more that I could do and other people could do in regards to this space, but it's where we are and just got to move forward and do the best that we possibly can with what we've got. And Zassy 23, G23, you now have a crypto wallet to go with that. So yeah, good stuff. You guys are great. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.